Jackie and I first got married, it never crossed my mind to cheat. I really felt guilty. This was lust at its best. Felt like a whore.
There were times when I couldn't get in touch with Ronnie. He wasn't answering the phone. And when I would get him on the phone, he always had excuses, and he would assure me that he loved me. I always tried to believe him.
There was never a thought that I would leave Jackie. I wasn't trying to build a relationship with Susie. It was convenient. There was nothing on my mind but having sex.
He wanted to satisfy himself. That became more important to him than his marriage.
The bank just took the house back. I couldn't make the mortgage.
We lost the house. And that was a terrible blow to me.
I told Susie that I'm going home to be with my family. This was the end of the relationship. She took it hard, but my family, believe it or not, was what I wanted to get back to. Jackie and I drove back from Georgia in a moving truck.
And we just tried to connect again, but we didn't connect very well. It was difficult. We had been away from each other for over a year.
It was hard to have a sexual relationship with Jackie when I got back to Colorado. And I believe that was because I had been committing adultery with someone else. I felt pretty bad about it, but I was hoping that things would get better.
Before our daughter Chauncey went off to school, we got the mail. And there was a card, and it was addressed to Ronnie. And so I opened the envelope right there because I was thinking, what is this? And it was a card from his girlfriend. And she was telling him she knew that he didn't realize how much she loved him. That was like a kick in the gut. I never expected that. I was devastated, hurt, disappointed, and feeling like, how could he do this to me? I felt like a fool.
I walked in the door and Jackie handed me the greeting card. She knew without a shadow of a doubt that I had been committing adultery. And I told her about the affair. I told her everything.
The next few days, I wasn't talking to him. We were still sleeping in the same bed, but it was cold in that bed. There was no trust in that bed. I was just beside myself. I was so stressed and depressed, and I thought, something has to change. I loved him, but I said, I don't want to do this anymore. And I said, Ronnie, you are not in my future. We cannot be together.
I think that it was very hard for her to leave him because I think that she really loved Ronnie and she really wanted to be married. But I think that her self-esteem and her sense of self-worth had been really damaged by the marriage. She was able to gather the strength to break up the relationship.
She just told me that she was leaving. I couldn't blame anybody else but myself. I knew when she left, she was through. I was given divorce papers. I felt like somebody had cut my wrist and then my throat. I was consumed by what I was going to do to make things work. I told her how wrong I had been and how desperately, and I mean desperately, did I want to make things right.
I didn't want to hear it. I had to find a way to encourage myself to put one foot in front of the other and move on.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I have lived, and now I'm dying by the choices I had made. It was like a death. Jackie politely told me that I have no plans for you in my future. She did not want to have anything to do with me, but I still loved her.
What usually happens is a person has to take some time for self-examination and really start to feel in their heart the pain that the other person is experiencing and to understand what has happened. I think Ronnie started to feel bad that he had hurt Jackie so much.
I love Jackie. I've always been a fighter. I was going to fight for this until the end. And so I wasn't going to let her go easily. I always invited her to go to dinner, go to a movie, but she didn't want anything to do with me.
He was persistent. He was still wooing me and still proving to me that he loved me, and all he wanted to do was make me happy.
I told her that I still loved her. During that time of separation and divorce, her heart began to soften.
And so as I listened to him, I heard a new man. He was sorry, and he said, just give me a chance.
It's very difficult to forgive a betrayal, and it takes rebuilding trust, and it takes building the faith in yourself that your partner is not going to cheat on you again. So it takes time.
It was Ronnie's idea to go to counseling, and Ronnie chose the counselor, which was very surprising to me. I mean, this is one of the reasons I knew this dude has changed. But I was still waiting for the other shoe to drop, to be honest with you.
I learned that I wasn't the man that I thought I was. I learned that I wasn't accountable for anything. I don't think it was so much of me being lonely as lustful, just having something different. I could have put the loneliness off had I wanted to, but I didn't.
When the trust is destroyed, if you go through the process and you build back up your trust, you can get to the point where your relationship is better than it ever was before.
I made a covenant with her that I would never lie again.
It took time, but we were able to start to rebuild our relationship. And we did it slowly, but surely.
I think that Ronnie and Jackie always loved each other, and they rebuilt trust. They forgave themselves and each other, and they didn't have any secrets anymore.
He really did prove to me to be the man I would have him to be. I told him I love you and I forgive you, and let's see if we can make this work again. I was overwhelmed at our wedding. There were many people that were excited about us getting back together. We were happy.
Having the second wedding made me feel like a new man. I can't even begin to tell you how good I felt. I just felt wonderful.
Today, Ronnie and I are hot for each other. It's better than it was when we first got married. He loves me from his heart and shows me every day. He has truly become a man of his word, and he has made me the happiest woman on this earth.
I look at her and just ask myself, how in the world did I deserve this? Can you imagine forgiving a person like me and just letting it drop and continue on? It would be hard for some women to do, but she did it. And I'm so thankful she did.